Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Willie and we're here in a good old flat world here and doing a bit of a different video for once. So, I'd like to introduce you guys to a new tutorial series we're starting on Mekanism 1.12.2. We're going to go through 1.12.2 and then we're going to skip up to 1.18 or 1.19 or something, a newer version of Minecraft. First we're going to cover all of the old versions, all of this stuff. Today's video is about basic power generation. So, instead of rambling and just doing all that fun stuff, we're going to jump right into it. So, as you know, every single base probably starts out with something called a heat generator. Yeah, you're probably not going to start with an ultimate energy cube or ultimate cables, but I just have a simple demonstration set up here. A heat generator is very simple to make. It just requires iron, wood, osmium, furnace, copper. All the stuff you're going to have when you first start the game. So, what you're going to need to put into this to be able to get energy is coal. Put coal in it. You can put lava, which I've already done on accident. Put wood in it. You can put blocks of coal. You can put oak wood. You can put anything you want in there. Doesn't matter. If it's burnable, it can go in it. So after you get that, it's like starting out your base. Frick. Well, after you start out your base, you'll then probably move to one of these. A wind generator. Now, the wind generator is interesting because it's a bit harder to make, but once you get a enricher, I believe it is. I believe it's called an enricher. Yeah, no. A metallurgic infuser. Once you get a metallurgic infuser, which heat generator. Just gotta put that back down. Believe it or not, lost a. Once you get yourself a heat generator, which it all starts with that bad boy, or any other form of energy, but we're just doing mechanism. Once you get that, you'll probably move over to this, a wind generator. Let me grab some blocks real quick. Grab our line. Just put that all the way up there. So you'll see down here it is producing 24 RF per tick. Up here, it is producing, come all the way up here. Not two of them. I said not two of them. Sky blocked. All right, hold up, we're too high up. Up here, we are producing 26.18. So as you can tell, the higher it is, the more power you're going to get. If this one's only producing 24 down here, I know it's not much of an increase, but I haven't changed around configs, and different mod packs going to be different configs. So as you can tell, though, it's the higher it is, the better it's going to be. Simple as that. So you got to remember, higher the windmill, more energy. Just in real life, I think. I don't know. It's producing pretty good amount of energy. It's ultimate cable, and then you got the solar generator. Now, I don't recommend this thing. This thing is not good. It's just bad. Don't ever make it. Okay. Only times you should make it is whenever you're making the advanced one. This thing only produces 17.6, and we can set it to midday, and it will not change. That's 500. We can set it to midday, and it will not change. It just produces 17.6 all the time, no matter what. Yeah, see what I mean? It's not very good. Now, the recipe for this one is a bit more, intrusive. That's why I'm saying you shouldn't produce it unless you're, on the moon or something. Solar generator, solar panel, or whatever. It's pretty simple to make, but all in all, it's I don't know if it's worth the resources. Even this thing here, which produces 105.6 RF per tick. I don't even recommend it unless you're literally on the moon and you physically cannot get any other form of power. Just make this thing. Just don't just make it. Just don't make it, okay? It's a waste of power. Waste of resources. Sure, it produces a constant amount of power, but sun goes down. It ain't making anything. Night. So now it's nighttime. It is no longer producing power, and this thing is no longer producing power. See the issue? Let's set it back to day here. So, now we're moving on to something that's a tad bit harder to understand and a tad bit harder in general. A gas burner is harder to make. It's one of the more advanced things in this mod pack. It's one of the more advanced forms of energy, but I'll explain the more advanced systems you can set up with it. So to make it, all you need is 2 steel casings, steel casing is just some glass and steel. Electrolyte core, which is quite expensive. Quite a bit of iron and gold and stuff. But to get the basic system here running, to get hydrogen, not oxygen, hydrogen, Get yourself an electric pump set up in an infinite water source because it will suck away a 1-block source. Here, I'll show you. I got a water bucket just in case because we do want this stuff back. So if we get this way, it will eventually suck that up. Now, it's full right now, so let me make sure this is MBT'd one. Yep. So we get this thing to go away, and you're full too, ain't you? Dump. So you'll see it is draining, going, and yeah, that will eventually go away. Now my sources might be wrong. It may not go away. I don't know. All the times, all the mod packs I've messed with, it's gone away. Oh boy, our thing's full. Let's pretend like that's not full. Yep, not full. So you have your in supply of power because all of this takes power, and this is not a 1-to-1 ratio. This cannot be connected to this to gain it power again. Hydrogen is such a bad fuel. That's why I don't recommend this system, but we're just going to show it. So you have your energy, your electric pump, pumping the water into your electrolyte separator, which to make the pump, steel casing, bucket, pretty simple. So then you have your electrolyte separator here. This thing's a little bit more difficult to make, but it's still pretty simple. It's pretty simple to understand, Oh, my bad. Got a little lost there. So you have your electrolyte separator. You're dumping the excess of oxygen. Because if your oxygen fills up, then you won't be able to make hydrogen. So then you're turning your hydrogen, your pressurized hydrogen, into your gas burner. You're just burning said hydrogen to turn it into energy. Now, I do recommend, say for you run out of power, and you need a backup source of power. Well, here you go. Get yourself a tank, like the biggest gas tank you can afford. The biggest tank you can afford, I mean, definitely not this one. Maybe like a few basic ones, or maybe a advanced one, Advanced one's pretty easy to make, so just get a few of them, Throw them in a line and just do this, Here's your input, and here's your output. That way, this is full, and this is always going to have gas. So, like, if we were to disconnect this, you can see it's draining. Well, that's full, but, see, this still is full, too. So, it's like, hook it back up. Oh, we have our hydrogen. Bam, it's full again. This is the system I recommend for everyone. Doesn't matter what type of system you have. Doesn't matter what it is. I recommend this. Now, power-wise, say for you have your great base. You have all your sources of energy now. You know all the sources of energy, the basic ones with Mekanism. So, it gets a little bit more advanced. You can easily make Mekanism a super advanced mod. You can make this super, and I mean super, super crazy. So, the system I always set up with my bases, you'll see me talking about this a lot in my videos. Whenever I'm starting bases, I'm like, oh yes, you should always be doing this. So this is what I recommend for any energy system in any modded server, modded world. You have your input of power, you have your storing power, then your export power. That way, say for you, your power system shuts down. Hook off your thing that's sucking your power, then you can fill power again, then disconnect this as you fix this, and then bam, power for all this so you can have power in general. Say for you didn't have this, you just had all this hooked up. It's like, oh, my power just failed. Well, now you're out of power for good. Got to go back to good old burning coal. See what I mean? Well, have a storing of power. Pretty simple. It's pretty simple to understand. I hope it's simple. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. This has been a very, very, very short tutorial series. This series will definitely get longer as we get further into the stuff. Say for whenever we get the fusion reactor. That definitely will take like probably 2 videos. I don't know. We'll see. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Peace out. Never stop. All that fun stuff.